And it looks like it's time to get back to Shadax with Toho 2, Toho Castlevania 2.
Toho Castlevania 2. All right. Yeah. Let's start. I'll give the countdown. Shadax just doing a last-second check on everything. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yo.
All right, so this is Tohovania 2. This is a Toho fan game heavily inspired by Castlevania. The level design is mostly along the lines of Classicvania. The stages are going to be very linear. There's 8 stages in total. But the movement is going to be more along the lines of the Metroidvania games in the series, like Symphony of the Night, where, well, as you can see with Sakuya, the main character, she's mostly moving backwards. The fastest movement here is just backdashing into backflipping. And one of the greatest difficulties in the game is just platforming correctly. It's not backdashing in the wrong direction, because every time he does this, he does have to turn around upon landing. And it's very easy backdashing in the wrong direction, at which point you can train wreck. This is being played on hard mode. Enemies hit like a truck. So you really don't want to run into them if it's not necessary. Here's the first boss, Alice. Typically speaking, the fastest DPS is just going to be short hop and slashes. Every time you land after being airborne, you get like an animation cancel. So if you just spam short hops and slashes, you get to slash again sooner. That was the first boss. Nice. Between every stage, you're going to see this little sub-weapon menu where you get select 3 sub-weapons going into the next stage. There, he only selected Mei-Ling. The other 2 are pretty much useless. So after beating Alice, he unlocked Mei-Ling, which is basically this game's version of Castlevania's axe. So Mei-Ling is going to kick upwards and then kick back downwards. And it's great. Having a projectile like that's very useful in a game where every boss flies. Now, you're not going to be seeing much Mei-Ling or other sub-weapons during the stages. This isn't always true, but is generally the case. The sub-weapons in this game are pretty expensive to use. You can see the heart counter in the top left. That's used to actually summon the sub-weapons. So Mei-Ling, in this case, costs 25 hearts to summon. And Shadax will just be saving all of that for the boss coming up. For some meat. Nice heal. So the health routing is obviously really important in this game, but the heart routing is also pretty big. You do want to have enough sub-weapon usage for bosses and for stages. Right, here's Honk Master Chen. She doesn't know how to aim. And she's dead. Another nice fight. So this game actually has no luck. There's no RNG component here. With that said, if you know what you're doing going into a boss fight, if you just execute it the same way every time, you'll have the same boss fight every time. For stage 3, Shadax will be taking in both the stopwatch and Mei-Ling. Mei-Ling will be used exclusively for Yomu, but the stopwatch is used here for the stage portion. It just stops time for, I believe it's 4 seconds, and I think it costs 40 hearts. These spikes kill you in 1 hit, so you have to be very careful here.
You have to go fast.
Very nice. And here are these blue guys. They're great to kill for Heart Farm. And there you can see a backdash in the wrong direction. It's just really hard avoiding those. I think we have time for 2 donations.
Sure. We have $15 from Rhinos54. My little brother loves KH3. I hope he'll get to watch and enjoy the run. And we also have a $100 anonymous donation with no message.
Nice, thank you. So coming up here is going to be the boat section. This is mostly an auto-scroller. Shadax is going to be riding this maybe 2/3, 3/4 of the way, at which point he'll fly the rest of the way. You can see this blue bar in the top left, that's the MP. It's more along the lines of like a stamina gauge. It depletes as you do certain actions like fly, or I think either backdashing or backflipping also depletes it. So he just has to be a bit careful here with it and also not run into any enemies. Otherwise, he would just be flying the whole way. Quick slashing also depletes MP, so he's going to be doing some walking here to start the Yomu fight, just to recharge a bit. Here's Yomu. She's really fast, and it's really easy to kind of blow up on this fight. That was really sick, dude. That was super fast. That fight's really hard. All right, and now we're heading into stage 4. Bless you again.
Thanks, man.
There's not too much going on in this stage either, so we have time for a few more donations.
Absolutely. We have $25 from Superfly310. Can't wait for the Kingdom Hearts 3 run. Let's get that boss incentive met, and we can't forget about the Mario 3 race. And that's definitely right. Speaking of the Mario 3 race, we do have a bonus game incentive for that, and that's gonna need about 100 grand in the next 6 hours or so. So definitely start working on that one too, guys. We also have $250 from Anonymous saying, Tuhu is great, official in fan games like this. It's also cool they're starting to port the games to different systems.
All right, here's the Marisa fight. He was low in health, so he took an intentional death there. Dying in this game, as you just saw, not too costly. Every room is actually a checkpoint. Very nice fight.
Have to take her down quicker. She shoots the lasers. You don't want that.
Yeah. But yeah, dying is like one of the fastest ways to refill your health to max if there's a fast way to die right as you enter a room. So here's the second half of the game, starting with stage 5. Shadax is going to be setting up the big toss here by getting these enemies out of the way, getting grabbed by this guy, and then flying to the door over here. Very nice. So starting with stage 5, this is when the game really starts to heat up. Enemy density is a lot higher now. The enemies used in rooms are typically more aggressive and do more damage. So it's even more imperative now to just platform correctly, take your D boosts correctly. Health management is now a lot more crucial. Another intentional death there, just a refill. Here's this elevator. Shadax is going to be kind of speeding up this elevator, or at least getting off it sooner by drop kicking on top of this next flyer coming up. This guy. Sick. There's some meat up here. Nice to have before this next boss. Reimu's really dangerous. In my opinion, one of the hardest bosses casually. She's constantly throwing these aimed amulets at you, and she's also got a whip that knocks you back very far, so it's really difficult to close the gap and deal damage to her constantly. Good fight. I believe that could have been slightly faster, but overall, that was great. You can see him use the patchy sub-weapon there as well. That's akin to Castlevania's Holy Bible. It's kind of like this like shield-looking thing that does damage around you. And it wouldn't be a Castlevania game without a stage like this. Got yourself a vertical clock tower. This is one of the hardest screens in the game. There's a lot to pay attention to. Everything's in motion.
And you don't want to get bit by the arrows.
Yeah. He did a sick drop kick there on an arrow, by the way. It's pretty cool stuff. Just de-boosting through everything. And I believe he's going to take an intentional death here as well. Yep, on this spike. Little time stop here to freeze all the gears. And everything else. There's a lot of stuff going on in that room. Here's Ron. She's kind of just going to die. And she's going to make a great sound as she dies. That's a classic right there. Good fight. She has a lot of screen coverage with her Danmaku, like all the bullets, but her damage is kind of underwhelming, so even casually you can just rush her down. All right, going into stage 7 here. This is the penultimate stage. That was an unfortunate menu. He's gonna be starting this over to get the correct sub-weapons. He really needs Flan in particular. Reimu as well for the boss. But the reason Flan is so big here, I mentioned earlier that you weren't gonna be seeing too many sub-weapons during the stages. So Flan costs 50 hearts, which is really expensive, but you can see her screen coverage is just so insane and so is her damage output. So if you use her in the right places, you can pretty much recoup all your heart losses and sometimes even gain more hearts than what you started with. It's kind of broken, to be honest.
Too bad you only get it for one stage.
Yeah, she just wrecks everything. Heart farm is pretty crucial for this stage. Ideally, Shadax wants, I believe, 70 hearts. He wants to use Reimu twice against Yuko coming up, and summoning Reimu costs 35. Reimu is basically the Castlevania cross. $72, very nice. Boss is quickly coming up. Health is really low though, so he might take an intended death here. Yeah. This fight's kind of scary if it goes bad. That red butterfly just slowly chasing after you takes out your health really quickly. It's not an instant kill, but it might as well be. Good fight. And this next stage is going to be the last stage, stage 8. So this is going to be a boss gauntlet of 3 bosses. And he's just going to be doing some heart farm at the beginning. He's also going to be using Alice here, which is a first for the run.
Shout out to Crimmy Doodle.
Shout out to Crimmy. So Alice here is basically holy water. More short hop slashing to take down Remy. Next is Ikari. Very nice. And this is the final phase right here.
Everything hurts, so you damage boost off Amelia herself.
Yeah, just lots of damage boosts here, lots of mailing usage, lots of patchy. Took a death. He only has 50 hearts now, so this fight becomes a bit harder. For this fight, I believe he typically uses 3 mailing and 1 patchy. So this is just going to be a lot more slash focused. It's going to be more of a war of attrition. Yeah, not having that extra use of mailing and patchy just really sucks here. Those lasers do so much damage. What he's trying to do there is just fly and then hover in place in one of those safe spots. Oh! You got this! You got this! All right, time is coming up soon. It's me during this fade away, right as it turns black and the music changes. And time. Sub 16, man. Nice run.
Is my mic working? Yeah, okay. All right, that was overall a nice run. Unfortunate for the end, but yeah, overall a nice run. That was I'm really happy for my runs today, so it was very nice. I just wanted to give some shout-outs to a few friends. Shout-outs to Boss Crab, Zex, DNGR, My Couch here, Ajarmar, ESG, Vorgar, Matis, because I'm probably forgetting some names, but back. Shoutouts to all my friends over at Twitch, on Discord. You know who you guys are, and yeah, thank you guys for having me. That was a very great time. Thank you.
We have a $20 donation from Silvery. Let's see this Kingdom Hearts boss. And yeah, just a reminder, we do still need over $20,000 to meet that incentive, and we're only about an hour plus from starting that run. So we got to get going pretty quick here. And we'll be right back. We're going to play some sponsored ads real quick.
Hey, I'm OmniGamer, and I wrote my new book Speedrun Science to help newcomers and veterans alike through the full process of investigating, routing, and performing speedruns. I also introduce speedrunning's rich history, how its rules evolved, and a whole lot more. Better now at fangamer.com.
Visit sgdq.chrono.gg to shop the SGDQ official game store featuring speedrunning favorites at amazing prices. Purchases directly support the charity. Contribute to Doctors Without Borders by purchasing a discounted game in the SGDQ official game store. Visit sgdq.chrono.gg to make a difference. We have $25 from Edward86. Been loving SGDQ this year. Keep up all the awesome work, runners and staff. And $20 more from Axelfar. Have to work today, but good luck with the KH3 run. Can't wait for that DLC. And with that, we're actually going to send it over to an interview with the Kingdom Hearts runners, Missmaster 1, CrispyMe, Ninten866, given by Kungfufruitcup.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Kung Fu back here with our lovely Kingdom Hearts runners. We've got Crispy, we've got Ninten, and we've got Mist. Hope those are all good nicknames for you.
Yeah, yes. Perfect, actually.
Perfect. Anyway, so I'm really excited for the Kingdom Hearts 3 run because it's one of my favorite game series of all time, and this is sure to be an amazing run and something really cool to see. Not only just like one person do it, but you guys are handing it off.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be really, that's going to be very, very cool. Okay, first off, I want to ask, best Keyblade?
I like Ultima Weapon just for the style.
That's fair.
Same. Yeah. It's actually the Ultima Weapon of Kingdom Hearts. It's insanely good.
I'll be the oddball one out. I like Starseeker, actually.
Starseeker?
Yeah.
You know, I've actually heard people say that. I did farm for Ultima, so I do know it's kind of way OP, but...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, very strong Keyblade.
Yeah, but I know that that's not the preferred Keyblade in the run. Obviously, it takes a long time to get, but what do you guys end up using?
We end up using Ever After, actually, which we get from really early in the game.
Yeah.
So it's really useful.
Yeah, for sure.
It's used for like 2/3 of the entire run.
Yeah.
And the only reason it's not used for like the other third is because we just don't have it by that point. It's just that good.
Nice. Yeah, that was one of my favorites too. Okay, so I know that you guys have been coming to GDQs for a little while. Like, has it been... How long have you been coming?
My first GDQ was AGDQ 16. I was actually a commentator for one of the Kingdom Hearts runs back then. And last year, I also did the Kingdom Hearts 1 Level 1 run last year. So this is my third GDQ.
Awesome. This is your third. What about you?
This is my third too, actually.
It's your third? What about you?
And this is actually my third as well.
Oh my gosh.
So
my
you're
gosh.
doing a three-way co-op. Each of us have our third GDQ, and it's Kingdom Hearts 3. So theme of 3.
Whoa.
That's too perfect. That's awesome. Okay, so I know that you guys have been running games for a while, and especially in the Kingdom Hearts community. I know that you mentioned that it's been since like early or sometime in 2013, which is amazing. So throughout all of your Kingdom Hearts experiences, what's the transition been like between running older Kingdom Hearts games and running 3?
Well, for me, I mainly ran KH2, and it's a very different game from KH3. So KH3 has like a lot of new, it basically just takes a lot of the resources from like previous games. So you have like flow motion, you have shot locks, and then you have, like movement like air sliding. And, a game like KH2 is just a little bit more simple. Not simple, it's complex in its own way, but, it's just getting used to like a lot of different play styles that you can have in the game. It's just a lot to take in, honestly.
Yeah, and I'm also a Kingdom Hearts 2 runner. So transitioning to KH3 has been very different because in Kingdom Hearts 3, there's a much heavier emphasis on movement. And so that's not really something that's been as much in the other Kingdom Hearts games.
Yeah.
And I'm like the odd one out because I'm actually primarily playing Kingdom Hearts 1, which actually does emphasize movement a decent amount. But I also have that sort of experience where you have to adapt to some things on the fly. It's definitely gotten more consistent over the years, but especially back in the early days of KH1, there's just a lot of improvisation, and we'll be seeing a lot of that in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Awesome. So it looks like the transition hasn't been like too bad, but it's definitely providing some new interesting things for you guys, especially with all the added movement that they've had. So when it comes to running this all together, can you tell me about the coordination that you had to do to make the run go smoothly, especially since, it's hard to kind of get in the same place at the same time.
Yeah.
You're not in the GDQ.
I mean, I would say one thing that's easier about it, because we're splitting it up, is that we only have 1 hour to practice each.
Yeah.
That's very true.
That's true. It's not bad.
So what about like the actual knowing exactly where one cuts off and one begins?
We pretty much just work that out, say, oh, hey, when is like a good transition point, maybe get in, because we actually have a few incentives like our Disney songs and stuff, like maybe we can squeeze that in, work it around, when is like a decent, just third for each person to get off at and, work that out. We decided that and we're all pretty happy with what we have.
Yeah, we each have a pretty even amount of time for it to run.
Awesome. And so how did you come up with that in the first place? Like what gave you the idea to be like, oh, let's go in on this together and split up this run?
Actually, I got the idea from 2015 Kingdom Hearts 2 FM critical mode, because that was like one of the first KH runs at a GDQ. And I thought it was really good. Biz, BB, and Riz ran 2FM there, and they did the same thing. They split the game into 3 thirds.
So you suggested it to these two?
Yeah.
Just to kind of mimic that.
The whole
You guys are on board?
Yeah.
And now
It's like, all right, let's do it.
That's awesome.
It is.
So then with Kingdom Hearts being a newer or Kingdom Hearts 3 being a bit of a newer game, I'm sure that there are glitches and things that are new strats that are being discovered constantly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's really interesting because Kingdom Hearts isn't really a series in the speedrun for being like super glitchy or anything, but Kingdom Hearts 3 definitely has like the most skips we've seen so far, and don't want to give anything away, but this run is amazing for a first-time watch if you're not aware of what the things you can actually do in it.
Oh, like especially if you played casually. Then
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, a lot. Oh my gosh, that's fascinating. So then with these new things being added in, especially if it's got to be somewhat constant, has that affected, especially when you first got the idea of splitting up the run, has that affected your ability to like coordinate with each other, and has it changed anything from section to section?
I don't think so.
We've pretty much still been solidified on what we each want. There has been like a new strat that's been found like literally 2 days before the event started, so I've been stressing to get that done. But
so that's on your end?
Yes, it is. But
is there anything that you want to tell us about that?
Don't skip leg day.
Don't skip leg day?
It'll make sense. You'll see.
That's awesome. Okay, so then with all of that coming together, is there anything else that you want the audience to know about the run, especially beforehand? Because I know it's going to take a lot of kind of like passing back and forth, and there might be things that they might not see immediately that you could kind of give them a heads up on.
Well, there is a really tough fight that Crispy is actually going to have.
Okay. Yeah, it'll be during my section. I'm sure people are familiar with Skull. It's the giant wolf boss. I'm sure a lot of people casually had a rough time with that fight.
And that's in Arendelle.
Yes, that is in Arendelle. But hopefully I will be able to nail a DM skip that stands for Desperation move. And it's just that long animation maybe people are familiar with. And hopefully I can nail that strat.
So that you can just completely skip that entirely.
Oh yeah. You don't want to see it.
It is cool looking, but we don't want to see that.
So you're gonna beat him before that happens?
Hopefully.
Yes. Awesome. All right. Well, anything else you want to say about the community before we head out?
I guess just thanks for the community for just finding a lot of strats in a relatively short amount of time. Like Kingdom Hearts 3 just got released this year, and I can't stress how insane the routing and just finding strats and
absolutely
just strats are being found really fast and pretty much every day. So it's just a lot of work from the community. It's
Yeah.
really
I can
great.
also mention how there are a ton of Kingdom Hearts peeps here at GDQ this year. So it's really awesome to see them all.
This might be like the actual biggest group of KH representation we've had at GDQ, so that's
Yeah.
pretty sick.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's great to see the Kingdom Hearts community come out. It's one of definitely the most supportive.
Very
and,
supportive.
One of the
Very
coolest.
supportive.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much, guys, for speaking with me. I'm so excited for your run coming up. It's going to be amazing. And I feel like Sense nearby. I feel like we should check on him. Sent.
Sorry, Kung Fu. Late night. Don't worry.
You're good.
So, I do have some great prizes to talk to you about this morning. Good morning, everyone, by the way. It certainly is one. But first, there is something I wanted to mention about Kingdom Hearts 3. We have an incentive for that game that I believe is still about $20,000 off. The runners have offered to not only fight the super boss of the game, but to do so at level 1 in critical mode. And would you guys just take 30 seconds to explain why that's so cool and why people need to get in those donations to make it happen?
Sure. So Dark Inferno is pretty much the super boss of Kingdom Hearts 3 right now. The fight is super difficult. Like if you get hit 2 or 3 times, then you'll die. Just like that.
Yeah.
Because it's level 1 critical mode. The hardest difficulty, level 1. So you guys want to see that for sure.
Sounds great. Yeah, I mean, that sounds incredible. I have trouble beating a lot of the Kingdom Hearts super bosses on a completed save file. Watching someone do it at level 1 on critical, that's going to be super cool. But we are still about 20,000 away from that. But let me show you some cool things you guys can get entered to win if you get a donation in between now and the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. So from our great friend Wolfenwares, we have a beautiful set of Kingdom Hearts 3 Wayfinder Trio keychains. You just head over to GamesDoneQuick.com. Check out the tracker to see a beautiful picture of them. They're super cute. They're only a $5 minimum donation. No reason not to get into on those. From our friend Pearl Pop, we have these absolutely gorgeous pearlers of the Tonberry and the Bomb from the Final Fantasy series. Now, guys, something I really want to get off my chest here is I think a lot of people have a misconception that pearlers are pearlers. Whatever, anyone could do them. They're definitely higher quality pearlers than others, and these are absolutely beautiful. As you can see, the melt on these is perfect. They almost look acrylic in nature. I love them. The set of 2 is a $20 minimum donation, and they come to us via our friend Pearl Pop. We have the set of 3 Cuphead amigurumis from Saint 10 Planet. I love these things. They're super adorable, and they have a great story behind them. These were actually knitted at SGDQ last year live in the audience. That's the coolest thing. Someone out there was knitting a prize for a future event. I love them. $15 for the set of 3 altogether. From Ganel Juman, we have an amazing canvas print of Vanitas from Kingdom Hearts 3. It's massive, it's beautiful. You gotta go check it out. It's a $25 minimum donation. I believe we also have a lovely Sonic canvas print from him as well. Check the tracker for pictures of both of those. We have, of course, this beautiful Volume 2 NES Works. It's just continuing the story of how the NES came to America and all of the crazy stuff that had to happen for the series, or sorry, for the console to revive the video game industry effectively after the great crash of '83. It comes to us from our friend Jeremy Parrish, and it's a $10 minimum donation from now until the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. So make sure to get your donations in for that. And guys, from Beating Coffee Illustrations, we have this beautiful Pizza Time illustration. I don't know if you guys were awake earlier this morning to catch the TMNT runs. They were crazy. It's always pizza time. I know it's like, what, 8:30? Let me check real quick. Yeah, it's like 8:30. Some people say it's not pizza time. For $15 minimum donation, it can always be pizza time. And it should always be pizza time. And last but not least, guys, don't forget we have the amazing grand prize, our Master Sword and Hylian Shield from Heroic Replicas. Shout outs to David Heroic Replicas for making that happen. It's a $200 donation. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's cumulative. So hey, you get in $25 right now. You get entered into everything we talked about and plenty more. And you're already over a tenth of the way into an entry for that amazing replica Master Sword and Hylian Shield. Guys, that's gonna be all from me. Kung Fu, thank you so much for having me here as always. Really looking forward to that Kingdom Hearts 3 run later, guys.
Same.
And let's throw it back up to the front as we get ready for Fire Emblem Fates with Kirby Master.
Thanks, Ent. We have $10 from Merrick. Take my money for naming Corrin as Keanu. You're breathtaking. Good luck on your run, Kirby Master. We also have $100 from Zinogre. Let's see Conquest, down with Rev. Good luck to my KH boys in the next run as well. And we have a $250 donation by our own Kirby Master. Conquest, go. We have a $50 donation from Severa. The Fire Emblem franchise has kept me up all night playing till silly hours of the morning multiple times already. It's only fair SGDQ keeps me up to watch a speedrun of it too. Thanks for making my week. With love, from Australia. And Golgoat just came in with a $500 donation. And it just says, yes, yes. We're starting to see some good love for that Kingdom Hearts 3 incentive. $250 from Anonymous. Was honestly convinced KH3 was vaporware just a year and a half ago. Now I get to watch it run at GDQ, putting my donation towards seeing even more of it. We also have $20 from Mirren, Kingdom Hearts hype. We have $50 from No Fear. Love these week-long GDQ events twice a year. They make the work week enjoyable. Donating even $5 or a Twitch Prime sub helps so much. Thank you to all the runners, staff, and donators. Put this towards level 1 Kingdom Hearts boss fight. And we are about to close the donation incentives for Fire Emblem. So if you want to get anything in last minute, get it in now.